Morning, everyone. Today is the Holocaust Remembrance Day, and it's our duty today once again to say that it's really important to fight anti-Semitism and protect the human rights, and it's also our obligation to remember it and to learn our lessons from the history. Yesterday in Belarus was once again the organized self-reappointment event, the one that we cannot call elections or any other that would remind us democratic procedures and democratic institutions. Today we have to reiterate our policies towards Belarus, and that is keeping pressure on the regime because of the constant human rights violations, because of the limiting the rights of the political opposition, and also of the hostilities towards journalists and political opposition. More than 1,200 people are still kept as political prisoners, and it's in 21st century and in Europe happening right now. So we have to continue supporting democratic Belarus, supporting the leadership of democratic Belarus, and keeping the pressure on the regime that is also the military backyard of Russia. We cannot forget that Belarus played its role in Russia's illegal aggression against Ukraine, and for that Belarus must also and its leadership be kept responsible. We urge our European friends, our European Union member states, to support Lithuania's referrals of crimes against humanity to International Criminal Court. This is the right thing to do. We are 1 month from 3 years commemoration of the war against Ukraine, and it's a time today to say that we failed with our support to Ukraine being sufficient for Ukraine to prevail. We have to learn this lesson for the future, and we have to keep with the support, military and financial and economic, to Ukraine to make Ukraine stronger. Stronger Ukraine means better chances for us to preserve the peace for Europe that would be the long-lasting and sustainable. This is also another occasion for us to talk about the continued pressure on Russia's war machine. 16th package of sanctions has to be prepared. It has to be strong. It has to include the energy resources, LNG. Also, we have to address the other capabilities of Russia to keep itself on track. It means we have to target oil and oil products exports, and it's the products as such, and also the shadow fleet that is used also for the hybrid activities in the Baltic Sea. The second line of the pressure to Russia has to be with the immobilized assets. Lithuania's legal advice on this issue is that we have the legal way forward. We analyze the issue thoroughly, and our approach is that Russia is in a breach with international law. It means that international community has the right to use the countermeasures against those activities. And one of those would be the seizure of the immobilized assets. So we are looking forward to the discussion on it. On hybrid threats, the very recent events in the Baltic Sea, the events of yesterday in the Baltic Sea, shows us that the number of those accidents there are too many for us to call those just coincidence. It's in 1 year 4 accidents like this, and we have to first go and investigate them deeply and to see whether they were and what state actors were behind, respond in the way as we should, and also to talk about and we will discuss it today, about the further measures that are needed to monitor the situation in the Baltic Sea, also in preventing it and in responding it. So one of it was already in place, that was increased naval presence, but it's not enough, and then there is also a role for EU. So I'm looking forward today to discuss with my colleagues what would be the EU hybrid strategy, what is in our hands in the way of tools. So those 3 topics are really important for us today, and I'm looking forward to the discussions.
Georgia also on agenda. What's your position, your country's position, and can we expect real measures which will target it on those persons who are responsible for these actions? We see already this 2 months, people are on the streets, and people want better future, European future.
Yep. we see the reports about the Georgian people that want European future still on the streets more than 50 days. That puts duty on our side also to respond to it and to answer to it. From remembering the last Foreign Affairs Council meeting, we missed a chance to go with the stronger message and with the stronger restrictive measures, as we did in Lithuania. Some of the countries also followed this track. That's the way to continue, and also to reminder that the best way out of the crisis that is right now in Georgia is to organize the new elections that would be in line with ODIHR recommendations. That's our way forward, because otherwise we would see that the overall democratic situation in Georgia is collapsing, and it's none of our interests.
Minister, one statement for the press from Republic of Moldova. Is Moldova a priority for Europe right now, and how Europe can help Moldova to combat Russian interference, especially because we have parliamentary elections really soon?
Yes, we've seen how Russia is using energy resources and trade in energy resources as the weapon. It was used against Lithuania some 15 years ago, and we know how it works. So what we are seeing right now in Moldova, that's once again the repetition of the tool that Russia's regime managed to use. So now, as we see it, that's the direct pressure on the pro-European government. That's the prelude, and it's the direct involvement into the upcoming parliamentary elections. So we see the need to continue supporting Moldova to withstand this pressure and also to use this situation and stop the dependency as it is, on Russia. Because if there is a dependency, they will use it further on, and manipulate it in the political way as they are doing right now. So with all the support.
How could you help? How could Europe help?
Yeah, we already have the mission in Moldova, and we are assisting also, we provide the assistance to soften the consequences of the increased energy prices, and with all the toolbox that has EU to assist the countries that withstand the foreign interference. That we will continue with doing this. Thank you.
Can I ask you just a quick question?